Hi and hello, Rays fans, and welcome to this presentation of Rays Baseball Game 2 of a 3-game series here in Tropicana Field against the Cleveland Indians. Rays coming in at 14-6, Indians at 14-7. It'll be Charlie Morton on the mound for the Rays, Clevenger for the Indians. Charlie Morton, the Rays ace. He's 3-3 on the year with a 2.10 ERA. In his last start against the Indians, he picked up a win. Went 7 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, no runs, walked 2, and fanned 9. The first Indians player he will face here is the DH Louie Garcia. Rays won yesterday. They clinched the season series against the Indians, and here's the first pitch of this evening's contest, and it's low for ball 1. So the lineup that Morton will face today, leading off the DH, the switch hitter Louie Garcia. Batting second, the second baseman Cesar Hernandez. Batting third, the shortstop Francisco Lindor. Batting cleanup, the right fielder Franmil Reyes. Batting fifth, the third baseman Jose Ramirez. Batting sixth, the first baseman Carlos Santana. Batting seventh, the left fielder Domingo Santana. Batting eighth, the center fielder Oscar Mercado. And batting ninth and catching, Roberto Perez. That 7-inning shutout that Morton pitched in the getaway at Cleveland, that was a 2-1 Rays win. So his pitching really came in clutch for this ball club, and a swing and a miss will open this game up for a strikeout of Louie Garcia for Morton, and now there's one away for Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez is 260 on the season, 1 for 4 here in the series. The first pitch to him is put on the ground right to Choi, and he'll run over to the bag to tag out Hernandez, and now quickly out number 2 of this inning. Morton getting a couple of quick outs, and now with the bases empty and 2 out, it's the shortstop Francisco Lindor. Surprisingly, he leads the team in home runs with only 6. He's 233 on the year, 1 for 4 in the series with a double. The catcher Perez sets up inside, and it's high for ball 1. Couple takes for Lindor, and the count even at a ball and a strike. Morton, a good possibility, could get out of this in less than 10 pitches. We'll see. That one low in the dirt, and it's 2-1. It'll be Meadows, Choi, and Kiermaier in the bottom of this inning. And now the 2-1. Low again. 3 balls, 1 strike. Lindor taking a couple curveballs. And now he's got himself in a hitter's count with 2 outs. Morton in the 3-1 sets and deals. And Lindor will take it for strike 2, and the count is now full. That fastball in there at 97. Morton brought his A game here today. And the payoff to Lindor is fouled away down near the visiting dugout. Another 3-2. And that one is put into play, but foul. The defense is shifted way inside, so that would have gotten down for at least a double, as Renfroe was nowhere near the vicinity. Luckily, it went foul, and now a third 3-2 pitch, and that one is fouled away as well. And that one put into play and fouled away again. It's now 4th or 5th foul ball after it went full, as Lindor will just not go down here with 2 outs. Now another 3-2 pitch. And that one is grounded right to the third baseman, Yandy Diaz. He grounded right into the shift, really. And the throw to first is good for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Morton in the first. The home frame when we come back. The starting pitcher for the Indians today, it's Mike Clevenger. Mike Clevenger is 1-1 on the season with a 2.97 ERA. In his last start versus the Rays, he took a loss. In 6 innings pitched, he gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 4, and struck out 7. That was that April 12th matchup where he actually did face Morton's, a similar matchup, and leading off for the Rays, it's Austin Meadows. He's in the midst of a 7-game hitting streak. He went 1 for 4 with a double yesterday, and the first pitch to him is way inside ball 1. So the lineup that Clevenger will face here, leading off in right field, Austin Meadows. Batting second, the first baseman Ji-Man Choi. Batting third, the center fielder Kevin Kiermaier. Batting cleanup, the left fielder Hunter Renfroe. Batting fifth, second base Brandon Lau. Batting sixth, the shortstop Willie Adames. Batting seventh, the DH Jose Martinez. Batting eighth, the catcher Michael Perez. And batting ninth and playing third base, it's Yandy Diaz. 2 balls, no strikes. Here, the count to Meadows, and here it is. Just in the top part of the zone for strike one. Now this offering from Clevenger. And that one is going to be put into play and dropped off the glove of Ramirez. And he's not even going to have a play at first. They're going to call it a base hit for Meadows. So a leadoff single. And he continues his hot streak. Extends the hitting streak to 8 games. And that'll put a man on for Ji-Man Choi here in the first. Ji-Man Choi is 245 on the season. 2 for 4 in the series with a home run. That was a solo shot yesterday. That first pitch high for ball 1. Ji-Man Choi in a 7-game hitting streak as well. The top of the lineup between Meadows, Choi, and Kiermaier, and even Renfroe as well, have really been red hot lately, and really has this Rays ball club. They're in a 3-game winning streak now as that one is popped up, chased by the right fielder Reyes, and he's going to go back near the track, but won't go far enough. It'll be out number 1, so fly out to right for Choi. It's now Kevin Kiermaier. A 5-game hitting streak for him. We're going to be saying that a little bit. Kiermaier 196 on the year. 1 for 4 in the series with a home run. He has the team lead in runs batted in with 20. Second on the team with home runs with 8. He had a 2-run shot yesterday. And then was outdueled by Renfroe with a 2-run shot of his own. Kiermaier's at the plate with Austin Meadows at first and 1 out. A righty on lefty matchup. The first 3 batters, it has been that way. Now the 1-0 pitch. And that one is lined, and it's going to get down for a base hit just fair of the right field line. Austin Meadows is going to go to third, and he's going to stay there. The throw, the first baseman was off, so it's a double for Kiermaier. His 5th of the year. Now runners at second and third with 1 out for the cleanup man, Hunter Renfroe. This is exactly the position you want a guy like Renfroe in. Renfroe is 255 on the year, 2 for 4 in the series with a home run. That first pitch from Clevenger is in there for strike 1. A milestone watch for Renfroe. We talked about it yesterday. 98 home runs on his career, 2 away from that 100 marker. That one inside, and it's a ball and a strike. So Meadows at third, Kiermaier at second. 2 speedy outfielders. A base hit would score 2. The Rays put up 2 in the first inning yesterday. Can they replicate that? A good take by Renfroe there, and it's 2 balls a strike. Big spot for the Rays here. An early lead would really help things out, and they have their ace on the mound, Morton, who looks good as well. The 2-1 to Renfroe. And that one is a moonshot. Say goodbye. That baby is out of here. The Rays continue their way of scoring early in a ball game. That 3-run homer from Hunter Renfroe is his 10th of the season. That's his 99th of his career. The first Rays player of the season to reach double-digit home runs. Bottom of the first, it is now 3-0 Rays. We were talking about it all at bat. Even a single would have scored 2, but that's a way to do it as well. Depositing it into the left field stands. That one was absolutely demolished. And now with a chance to add on, it's Brandon Lau with only 1 out. And that one is popped up, chased by the center fielder Mercado, but he's under it for an anticlimactic out number 2. And so now, with 2 outs and the bases clear, it'll be Willie Adames. Adames is 168 on the season, 0 for 3 here in the series. He was batting in the top of the lineup for quite some time, but now he's been relegated back to the bottom after falling into a bit of a cold slump. And the first pitch to Willie will be fouled down the left field line. So in the top of the second for Cleveland, they're going to be down a few runs. It'll be Franmil Reyes, Jose Ramirez, and Carlos Santana against Charlie Morton. Now the 0-1 to Willie is high and outside for ball 1. And that one is going to be put into play, but picked up by the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, grounded out into the shift to retire the side. But the Rays do take a 3-run lead on that blast by Hunter Renfroe, the 99th of his career. Through one, it's 3-0 Tampa Bay. And leading off the second inning for the Indians is Franmil Reyes. Reyes is 261 on the year, 0 for 4 here in the series. Morton had a 1-2-3 inning there in the first. He's now pitching with a 3-run lead. Couldn't imagine a more cushy situation if you're a Rays fan in the stands watching this one. Yarbrough has been really good as well, but Morton probably the best pitcher, at least to this point, as we're getting to the end of April. That one low, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morton looking for the put away. He goes for the fastball high and doesn't get a chase, and it's 2-2. Looking for the first out of the inning. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, and the count is now full at 3-2 with Jose Ramirez awaiting on deck. And now the payoff pitch goes to the curveball and gets a pop-up. It's the first baseman Ji-Man Choi under it for out number 1. And that'll bring up the third baseman Jose Ramirez, his first at-bat of the day. He is 281 on the season, 1 for 3 with a walk here in the series. He leads the Indians in average with 281. He'll face Morton with 1 out, and the base is clear here in the second. The Rays up 3-0 after a home run by Hunter Renfroe. So the Rays, they're 14-6 now. They're 4th place in the American League East, 4.5 games back of first. It's now the Boston Red Sox in first place with a 19-12 record. And although they have had a 6-game losing streak here in the month of April, they are 13-12 during this month. After that 6-game losing streak, where they lost a couple at home to the Astros and then got swept by the Blue Jays, after that streak, they have gone 6-1. So they're 6-1 in their last 7 games, including yesterday's win. They have a 3-game winning streak heading into this contest. The Indians, meanwhile, they're 14-7. 3rd place in the American League Central. They're 6 games back of the first place Twins, who are 19-10. So a couple of middle-pack teams duking it out here. The Rays clinched the season series yesterday with a win, as they had won the series in Cleveland 3-1, and now that win there makes it 4. As non-divisional, same conference teams face each other 7 times a season. So, of course, simple math would tell you that the first team to 4 wins would pick up the season series, and that's important for tiebreakers and things like that. These two teams came right neck and neck in the wild card race last year. The Rays just edging them out at the end of the season. The Rays' first playoff appearance in 6 years came a season ago. That one was a grounder to Choi for out number 2, and now it's Carlos Santana, the first baseman. He's 248 on the year, 0 for 4 in the series. The first pitch to him, fouled away. The Rays that will bat in the bottom of this inning, Jose Martinez, Michael Perez, and Yandy Diaz. The bottom part of the order, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. To face Clevenger. The Rays got to him early. We'll hope that these are all the runs they're going to need. But it never hurts to pick up a few runs along the way. That one ran inside, and it's 2 balls a strike here to Santana. 32 pitches now for Morton. So he's pacing okay, about 15 pitches per inning. As that one is fouled, so now 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Morton's a strike away from getting out of it. You love to see him go to the big looping curveball. That's his put-away pitch. The catcher calls high, and it is a fastball high, and it's fouled back. Maybe the fastball high to set up the curveball low. Who knows? It looks like it will be the 2-2. Looked like another fastball, but in the bottom part of the zone. Santana has been fouling him away like a madman, and the count is still 2-2. Here's the pitch from Morton. And that one is put into play, chased by the left fielder Renfroe. And he is not going to be there in time. It's going to go back to the wall for a 2-out double. The Indians' first hit of the day. I had a feeling that was going to happen. That's Santana's 6th of the year. He was fouling off a bunch of pitches and finally got one in fair territory. And now it's Domingo Santana with a chance to get a run back. Domingo Santana is .354 in the year. 0 for 3 in the series with a walk. Charlie Morton. First jam, I suppose. That one is grounded right up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Will they wave the runner around? He will. And the throw from Kiermaier. And it's going to be safe. The throw looked good, but Perez couldn't get the tag down in time. An RBI single for Domingo Santana will cut the Rays' lead to 2 runs. That single went right up the middle, literally touched the second base bag. A nice play by Kiermaier, but just a second behind. And now it's Oscar Mercado up now. Oscar Mercado appearing for the first time this series. He is .237 on the year. If you recall, scored an inside the park home run against the Rays in Cleveland earlier this month. That fastball high, and it's 2-0. Morton has thrown 10 balls in this inning, 15 strikes, as he's now at 40. That's not exactly what you want after the Rays made a surprising early move to the bullpen yesterday. They did not use any of their high prize relievers, though. Chaz Rowe, Jose Alvarado, and Nick Anderson all got the day off, so those 3 at least would be in play. Now the 3-0 to Mercado. Taking strike 1. You got to think Brendan McKay would be available as well, as he's not pitched in a couple of days. He could give you maybe an inning or 2. And a 3-1 to Mercado. And that one is popped up. It'll be the first baseman, G-Man Choi, underneath it. And he'll end the inning there. The Indians do get back a run. They got a double and single him in. As we head to the bottom of the second, it is now 3-1 Rays. It's the DH Jose Martinez to get this inning started. He is 169 in the season, 0 for 3 in the series. That'll be Jose Martinez, Michael Perez, and Yandy Diaz all to come to the plate in the second against Clevenger. Clevenger gave up a 3-run homer in the first. The Indians got a run back, though, so it's only a 2-run lead as that one is popped up and run down by the center fielder Mercado. And then quickly out number 1. And now the catcher, Michael Perez. Perez is 139 on the season, 0 for 3 here in the series. Just a home run and 6 runs batted in. Got to think he'll be having an off day coming up soon. Chris Herman on the bench. The Rays have been rather aggressive in playing their starters a lot. Not a lot of off days for the Rays, but you got to think that's coming soon, as a lot of these guys are probably pretty tired at this point. Now we're towards the end of April. The getaway day tomorrow would probably be a good day to do that, especially if the Rays can lock up the series victory. They travel across the country and then will play the Athletics to start a road trip where they'll face the A's and the White Sox. Now the 2-2 to Perez. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That'll be Clevenger's first strikeout of the evening. And now with 2 outs and the bases empty, it's the third baseman, Yandy Diaz. He is 150 on the year in limited action, 0 for 3 with a walk in the series. A platoon with Wendell over there at third base. The righty-lefty works out that way. Diaz started off the season 0 for 20, so it makes sense that Wendell has been seeing some more time over there. Wendell also a little bit better defensively. Diaz more known for the lumber then the leather. And the 2-1. Taking strike 2. And now Clevenger's a strike away from getting out of this inning 1-2-3. In drastic contrast from the first inning. That one inside and the count is now full. Meadows is waiting on deck as after Diaz, they'll return to the top of the order. And the payoff? Fouled away. And the top of the third for the Indians, it'll be the catcher, Roberto Perez, and then go back to the top for Louie Garcia and Cesar Hernandez. Another foul ball there by Diaz. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. We've seen one like this so far in the day. And a cut and a miss will end the inning. Second strikeout of the frame for Clevenger as he gets out of that one 1-2-3. As now we are through 2, the Rays lead by 2. It's 3-1. And to lead off this inning, in the third for Cleveland, it's Roberto Perez. Perez, 256 on the year. 1 for 3 here in the series. A home run. 9 run batted in his season tally. Perez, Garcia, Hernandez to come to the plate here in the third. Against Morton. Morton, who pitched a 1-2-3 inning in the first, gave up a run in the second. He now 44 pitches. And a bit of a taxed B bullpen at least. The 3 A men would be ready to go, though. That would be Rowe, Alvarado, and Anderson, as it was a non-save situation yesterday. But in a good way, it was a 4-run Rays win. That one outside, and it's 3 balls a strike. And now the 3-1. Taking strike 2. Now the count is full to the leadoff man here. And the payoff for Morton. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that'll get the crucial first out of the inning before we go back to the top. And now we will. For the switch hitting DH Louie Garcia. Something interesting to note that I haven't really talked about. 5 switch hitters in total in this Indians lineup. There was 4 yesterday, but the first 3 are all switch hitters. Louie Garcia, Cesar Hernandez, and Francisco Lindor. Something that's really hard to match up against. And the Rays learned that lesson yesterday. Trying to match up with the lefty Poche at the top. And I believe they went the righty Drake the second time through. You have to pick your poison, really, what side of the batter's box you want him in. Now one is fouled away, and it's 1-1. Garcia struck out in the first. That opened the contest. Just 2 strikeouts on the day for Morton so far. He hasn't walked anybody. A cut and a miss there on the fastball, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now this one from Morton. And strike 3 call. The fastball, the top part of the zone. That'll be strikeout number 2 of the inning. 3rd of the evening for Uncle Charlie. And now it's Cesar Hernandez, who grounded out to first in his first try. The first pitch to him with 2 outs and the bases empty is fouled away for strike 1. For the Rays in the bottom of the inning, and we'll go back to the top. 1, 2, 3. It's Meadows, Choi, and Kiermaier. They had some success in the first. Now the count to Hernandez. No balls, 2 strikes. Morton looking for the put away. And the 0-2. Fouled away. Looked like Perez was calling for the high fastball. I know it's not his only pitch, but you always think that Morton is trying to work to the curveball somehow. We'll see if he goes to it here. He does, but is laid off of. And boy, is that a hard pitch to take. Hernandez does, and it's now 1-2. And now grounded up the middle, picked up by the shortstop Adames, and he'll throw out a first to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Cleveland here as we head to the bottom of the third. Rays up 3-1. It'll be Austin Meadows to lead things off here in the third as we go back to the top. Meadows opened the game with a single. He came around to score on a 3-run homer by Renfroe. It'll be Meadows, Choi, and Kiermaier here against Clevenger as Meadows takes that first pitch for strike one. A bad swing and miss on a pitch way outside, and it's 0-2. And now this offering from Clevenger will be high and taken outside for ball one. That fastball even higher, and it's now 2-2 as Meadows is trying to claw his way back into this count. He's the hottest hitter, arguably, in this Rays order. That one inside, and the count is now full. Ji-Man Choi waiting on deck. Now the payoff pitch. And that one is absolutely drilled. The right fielder Reyes goes back, but there's nothing he can do. Home run number 2 on the day. A solo shot for Meadows. Here in the third is his 6th of the year. 5th home run of the series. It is now 4-1 Rays. We just talked about it, arguably the hottest hitter. And boy, is the top of this lineup absolutely slugging. .392 feet the distance. Nearly 102 miles an hour off the bat. And we'll keep things going here. Ji-Man Choi. Bases clear, no outs. Now we're taking strike one. Always a strange thing when you lead off the inning with a home run, because then it's like you get to start all over again. No outs, bases clear. And a guy that's great at getting on base. Ji-Man Choi. Both starters for the Indians in this series have not looked great. Not a whole ton of base runners, but a lot of home runs. As that one, as we said, was the 5th already of the series, 3 yesterday. Now the 3-1 at Choi. And that one is going to be fouled away, and now another full count. You're talking about giving some guys off days, but how could you when they're so hot with the bat right now as a cut and a miss? And Choi will go down on strikes for the first out of the inning. 4th for Clevenger. And now with 1 out, it's Kevin Kiermaier who doubled his first time up. That first inning double put runners at 2nd and 3rd for Renfroe, who sent it into the seats and made it 3-0. See if he can replicate that here. And now the 0-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Kiermaier not getting the benefit of doubt on the pitch that ran a bit inside. And now here's the 0-2. And that one was well outside. Now it's a ball and a strike. Ball and 2 strikes. Another pitch outside. Clevenger has not been too effective working outside to hitters, especially lefties. A lot of them have just been takes. He got one ugly swing and miss from Meadows, but that's been about it. Now the 2-2 to Kiermaier. Another pitch outside, and the count to Kiermaier is now full. All batters that have come to the plate in this inning have reached full counts. As Clevenger's pitch count continues to inflate, it is now 49. Now it is fouled away. So the Rays stretch their lead back out to 3. Make it comfortable for Kiermaier as that one is put in the air, and that baby is out of here. home run number 6 of the series. Third here today. A solo shot for Kiermaier. That is his 9th of the season. Same thing when we were at Cleveland. The balls are jumping hot off the bat. I don't know what it is about these Cleveland pitchers, but the Rays know how to take them deep. We mentioned third home run of the day, but how about the second of the inning? And that'll be Hunter Renfroe with 1 out, and the base is still empty after that home run. It is now 5-1 Rays. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swung on a missed strike 1. That one inside, and it's 2 balls a strike. 11 pitches, 11 strikes for Clevenger in this inning. Started giving up a couple home runs here. Now the 2-2. Laid off of on a pitch low, and it's another full count. That is really remarkable. All 4 hitters to come to the plate have all reached full counts against Clevenger. And 2 out of 3 of those have gone deep. Here's the payoff. Low ball 4, and Renfroe will walk. As Clevenger is really becoming unraveled here in the 3rd inning. That'll put a man on for Brandon Lau. Brandon Lau 0 for 1 with a fly out to center in the 1st. The first pitch to Lau is low, blocked in the dirt, and the runner's going to head to second. The throw, not in time. Renfroe is now in scoring position. A wild pitch allows Renfroe to advance, and it's now a runner at second with 1 out. And a 1-0 count to Brandon Lau. The 1-0 pitch swung on a missed strike 1. That pitch taken, and it's a ball, 2 strikes. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't remember how many home runs the Rays hit in Cleveland, but I knew it was just like this. It was a ton. The fact through 2 games the Rays have hit 6, and the fact that they've also done it in the same month against this team, it's really hard to explain. But I know every Rays fan as well as I would love to see more of it, especially against some other teams, including those in the American League East, as the Rays will face all 4 AL East rivals in the month of May. That one fouled back. And they count 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lau. Renfroe at second, so a chance to pour on this lead even more for Charlie Morton. You gotta love his chances of getting a win if he can get through 5, which we presume that he will. In the 4th for Cleveland, it'll be Lindor, Reyes, and Ramirez. They'll have their second goes as that pitch high for ball 4, and now another walk on another full count. Brandon Lau will walk the 2nd straight. And now it's the shortstop, Willie Adames. He grounded out to second his first time up. Now Willie, in this homestand, has struck out in a lot of crucial moments with men on base. A chance to knock in at least a run. The Rays are up 4-0, or 4 runs, excuse me, so it's not a really high pressure situation. So maybe a chance for him maybe to get his confidence back up. Clevenger's also on the ropes too, can't really even seem to find the zone. That one gets a piece of it, and it's a ball and a strike. The 1-1 to Adames. Swung on a missed strike 2. The game time last night for the Rays was one of the shortest that we've seen this year, coming in at just about an hour and 15 minutes, but already here it seems like this is going to be much different. As far as final game time, the 1-2 to Adames is outside ball 2, and really you can't complain. Nothing better than to see your favorite team crushing home runs. As the Rays duplicate their performance from yesterday and hit 3 more, as that one is picked up by the first baseman, and looks like it'll be a double play. Adames is safe at first. So fielder's choice for him. They get the out at second. Now runners at the corners with 2 outs. For Jose Martinez, good on Adames to run that one out, and the DH Martinez is 0 for 1 with a flat to center. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Rays up 5-1. That was really a nice diving play by the first baseman Carlos Santana. And then trying to get the double play, but not quite in time. Good hustle for everyone involved for the Rays. And now the 0-1 pitch is high for ball 2. That one just a hair outside, and 3 balls, no strikes. Probably see Martinez take one here. But you never know if it's really just right down the middle. Could be the 4th home run of the day. And the 3-0 pitch is put on the ground right to the shortstop Lindor, and he'll make the throw to first for out number 3. So a busy inning here. 3 home runs for the Rays today. 2 in this inning. It's now 5-1 Tampa Bay. It's the shortstop Francisco Lindor to lead off this inning for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. It'll be Lindor, Reyes, and Ramirez to face Morton as he comes out to start a 4th. At least try to get him through 5 so he can qualify for that 4th win. He's at 500, 3-3. He's really gotten the bad end of a lot of decisions. The best example of which would probably be a 1-0 loss to the Yankees, where Garrett Cole pitched and shut down the Rays. And Charlie Morton did a good job too. I think it was a solo shot by Brett Gardner that made the difference, as that one is going to get, and it's caught by Kiermaier. No, they're going to say it's a base hit. It looked like it was caught. But it'll be a leadoff single for Lindor to put a man on here in the 4th for Franmil Reyes. Reyes popped up to first base in his first try. 3rd hit of the day for Cleveland. They pitch outside, and it's 1-0. 3 hits, 3 strikeouts allowed by Morton. No walks yet. A single earned run in 3 innings pitched. And now another throwback to first. You can tell they're anticipating Lindor to run at some point in this at-bat, as they're going to need to at least pick up a couple here. They want to seriously think about getting back into this one. That one inside, and it's 2-0. And that one is put in the air, chased by the right fielder Meadows. He's going to go out there in near foul territory and make the catch for out number 1. A fly out to right for Reyes will bring up Jose Ramirez, who grounded out to Choi in his first time up against Morton. It's Lindor standing at first with 1 out. Righty on lefty matchup. The switch hitter Ramirez taking the lefty batter's box. You got to think a lineup like this would be pretty unstoppable with so many switch hitters. Is that one blocked by Perez? I mean, really kind of unprecedented. 5 switch hitters in a lineup. It's kind of crazy how the Indians have collected so many. But they're just about the same record as the Rays. The Rays 14-6, the Indians 14-7. As we've seen in these couple series against these two teams, the pitching has clearly made a difference between these two clubs. The Indians departed with a couple of their prize starting pitchers at the trade deadline last year. That one is going to go in and plunk Ramirez. And that'll put a couple of men on base and advance Lindor to second. Morton led the majors with hit by pitches last season. His pitches have a lot of movement and tend to run inside, especially to lefties. And that one ends up hitting Ramirez, and that'll bring up Carlos Santana with runners at first and second with one out. He doubled his first time up. And that one runs inside again. So not quite sure what Morton is up to there. Santana is 143 on the year with runners in scoring position. He has Francisco Lindor at second and Jose Ramirez at first. Indians down 4 runs. A swing of the bat from Santana can make it a 1-run game. You never know. Here's the 1-1. A big swing, but fouled right back to the catcher. It's now a ball, 2 strikes. A take low, and it's now 2-2. Now the pitch from Morton. Outside, and the count will now go full. Santana's worked him back into this count, and now the payoff pitch. Fouled back. Now it's 76 pitches. I know this really isn't the main concern, but of course, the guy keeping a scorebook, you worry about these type of things. Will they let Morton get through 5 to qualify for the win? We'll have to see. Now another 3-2, and a cut and a miss. That was a big out there. A walk would have loaded the bases, but he gets the crucial strikeout of the slugger Santana. The second straight switch hitter that he's faced. Gets that one out. And that'll be the left fielder Domingo Santana. An RBI single in the second. His first try. Scored Carlos Santana. Has given Cleveland their only run of the day. And now 2 on, 2 out. Here in the 4th. Indians looking to inch a little bit closer, as this Rays offense has shown no sign of cooling off anytime soon, at least against the Indians. And now the 0-1 outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Domingo Santana 308 on the year with runners in scoring position. He gave the Rays a heck of a lot of trouble in that series in Cleveland earlier this month. That one outside, and it's 2-1. It'll be Perez, Diaz, and Meadows in the bottom of this inning. For the Rays, a swing and miss from Santana will make it 2-2 and allow Morton to get 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Now 81 pitches. Will they let him out for a 5th? He's got to get the out here first. And now the 2-2 is low, and now another full count. No walks for Morton today, but he's gotten awfully close a few times. Now another full count. And the payoff pitch is grounded right up the middle off of the cleat of Morton. And that one is going to be safe at first. Choi cannot beat the runner out to the bag, and that will load the bases here with 2 outs. Morton may be looking a little dinged up, or just having a talk with the catcher Perez. As he's limping off the field, that is not a good sign. That grounder hit him hard. Morton is waving off the coaches from the bench. He's going to stay in. The lefty McKay warming up in the pen. It's now a bases-loaded situation. The tying run now at the plate in Oscar Mercado. That one in there for strike 1, so a base hit. They're going to call it for Domingo Santana. Will be the Indians' 5th. Now the 0-1. Outside, and it's now a ball and a strike. The lefty McKay, the lone man warming up. It's a righty, and all switch hitters coming up after that, so really no point in trying to play righty-lefty. There's nothing really you can do. The 1-1 Swung on and missed. And now Morton once again a strike away from getting out of this thing. At this point, Morton probably would not come out for a fifth. We'll see what Kevin Cash does. You got to get out of this one first. Here's the 1-2. And put into fair territory. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to score at least 2 runs. Yeah, it will be 2. It is now 5-3. A 2 RBI single for Oscar Mercado. Going to score Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez. They're going to leave Morton in. The tying run is now on the base path, but it's the catcher Roberto Perez up. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Morton. So that was the 5th hit allowed by Charlie. As now his decision is hanging by a thread, and now I certainly think that this would be his last inning. Bit of a disappointing start for him. It looked good to start off, but allowed a couple too many base runners, and really the long counts have drawn out his pitch count. It's now at 89. Strange to think Mike Clevenger will probably go deeper in this ball game than Morton. And now the 1-1. Outside, and it's 2 balls a strike. That one taking strike 2, and now once again, and I think this is the 3rd time Morton's a strike away from getting out of the inning. Each time it's been prolonged. The Rays lead cutting out to just 2. Those home runs have really come in handy. It's now 5-3 Rays. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Morton will finally get out of the inning. He gives up a couple of runs. That'll probably be his last pitch as he exits at the end of 4. It is 5-3 Rays. The Indian starter Mike Clevenger will stay out, face the part of the bottom of the order, and then go back to the top. It'll be Michael Perez, Yandy Diaz, and Austin Meadows. Here in the 4th, it's been a busy day. Back and forth ball game. The Rays up a couple. That first pitch to Perez in there for strike 1. And that one is going to hit Perez. That one ran well inside. And Perez will head to first. Can't tell if that was intentional or not, but either way, it'll give the Rays a base runner. It seems like Michael Perez has always been at the end of some sort of shenanigans like that. And it'll bring up Yandy Diaz, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That first pitch to him is low, ball 1. 77 pitches now for Clevenger, so neither pitcher is going to go awfully deep. Never say never, but it'll likely be a no decision for Charlie Morton as he won't go the necessary 5 to qualify for a win. It'll be probably Brendan McKay if he's the first reliever they roll out. Now the 2-1. Taking strike 2. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Michael Perez standing at first. No outs here in the 4th. Raise up a couple runs. That one's low, and it's 3-2. A full count for the 9-man before we go back to the top. Here's the payoff pitch. And put in the air, and it's the right fielder Reyes underneath of it. And he's going to make a diving attempt. And it's going to be no good, and the throw to second won't be in time. Really an odd play there. It looks like it'll be an E9 as we wait on the official scores decision. We won't get one right now, and it'll be the manager, Terry Francona, out to make a pitching change. Mike Clevenger will exit. We'll call it 5 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 earned runs in 3+ innings pitched. And now the first man out of the pen, Ronaldo Lopez, for the second straight day. In 6 appearances, a 2.94 ERA. I say that because he was the first man out of the pen for the Indians in Game 1. He finished the contest off going 3 innings pitched, didn't give up any runs. And now it's a couple of men on and no outs for Austin Meadows, who's been red hot. He homered in his last at-bat. That one won't be the same result as it's popped up in shallow right center. And it's Oscar Mercado there to make the catch for out number 1. And now Ji-Man Choi's up next with a chance to extend this lead. Choi is 0 for 2 today. Struck out his last time up in the 3rd. It's Michael Perez standing at second. Yandy Diaz at first. The first pitch to Choi. Swung on and missed. And Perez is going to go. And caught stealing attempt. Not quite sure what the Rays were trying to do. They do get Diaz to second base. But now 2 outs. As that one was a bit odd. Michael Perez, a catcher, not very fast. As that one is going to be down for a base hit. And they're going to wave the runner around. The throw is not going to be in time. It'll score Diaz. So they do end up getting that run. An RBI single there for Ji-Man Choi. It scores Yandy Diaz from second. It is now 6-3 Rays. And now Kevin Kiermaier with Choi standing at first and 2 outs. Kiermaier homered in his last at-bat in the 3rd. He also has a double. So he is looking good so far today. And really all homestand, as he'll likely be a staple in the top of the order, at least for the short future. A take outside and it's 2-0. That 6th run will not be charged, at least in my book, to Mike Clevenger, as that one awfully looked like an error because it was Diaz that came around to score, not Perez, thanks to the caught stealing. And it will not be charged to Ronaldo Lopez either, but he's now responsible for the runner at first, as that one is going to be picked up by the 3rd baseman Ramirez, who goes to second to get the force, and that will end the inning. So the Rays pick up another run on an RBI single from Choi. It is now 6-3 Rays. And the Rays do make a pitching move as we expected. It's Brendan McKay. 13 appearances, a 4.70 ERA. Unfortunately, Charlie Morton will finish with a no decision because he did not go the qualifying 5 innings. He only went 4, gave up 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody, gave up 3 earned runs. He exited the game with a 6-3 Rays lead. As that one is going to get down for a base hit. A leadoff single for Louie Garcia, as he's now standing at first. He was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts heading into that at-bat. As a switch hitter gets things started off here in the 5th. It's now Cesar Hernandez. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to short his last time up. At this point in the 5th, you probably need Brendan McKay to at least get you 2, if not 3, but that seems a bit of a stretch. If he gets you through 2, that would allow you to do maybe Chaz Rowe in the 7th, Alvarado in the 8th, and Anderson in the 9th, as that's how the Rays have primarily tried to line things up this season. There's no point in really playing righty-lefty any part of this order, as there's no true lefties, but 5 switch hitters that can essentially act as lefties, and then the rest are righties. We've got a long way to go before we get there. 3 balls is a strike, the count to Hernandez, and here's the pitch. High ball 4, and that'll put a couple of men on. Brendan McKay not pitching his best stuff here. Early a hit, and now a walk has put runners at first and second with no outs for Francisco Lindor. He's 1 for 2. With a single in the 4th. Another switch hitter taking place in the righty batter's box. That went in there for strike one. Lindor's 154 on the year with runners in scoring position. It is Louie Garcia sitting at second. Cesar Hernandez at first. As Lindor represents the tying run here at the plate. That one fouled away, and it's now 0-2 quickly. The 0-2. Inside. For ball one. And the 1-2 pitch is going to be flared up, and it's going to get down for a base hit. It's actually going to score a run. An RBI single for Francisco Lindor. It scores Garcia from second. And has cut the Rays' lead to just 2 now. And continue the same situation. Runners at first and second with only 1 out. And it's now Franmil Reyes, who's 0 for 2. Flew out to right his last time up, but he is the cleanup man. Theoretically, the guy that you want taking these kind of at-bats. The tying run, once again, for Cleveland is on the base path. Fireworks for the Rays offense. The pitching hasn't quite matched up as maybe we thought. Morton exits after only 4. The 0-2 pitch. Runs high and inside for ball one. As correction, I said there was 1 out. McKay has not yet recorded an out in this inning. And he will right there with a strikeout of Franmil Reyes. And now there is finally 1 away. And now Jose Ramirez comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Cesar Hernandez at second. Lindor at first. Would love to see a weak grounder here to try and get out of this inning. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on a miss for strike one. Ramirez 208 on the year with runners in scoring position. The 1-1. And that one is going to it's going to be fair. It's going to roll all the way down to the wall and score 1. And they're going to hold the runner at third. An RBI double has now cut the Rays' lead to just 1, the 5th of the year for Ramirez. As McKay really cannot get anybody out. They're going to intentionally walk Carlos Santana. And that will load the bases with 1 out. That's an interesting call. And now this ball game has really gotten very interesting. It's now Domingo Santana at the plate. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Only 1 out recorded by McKay. He's given up 3 hits. The bases are juiced with only an out. Santana is 357 on the year with runners in scoring position. The tying run 90 feet away with 1 out. And the go-ahead is in scoring position as well. The 0-1 is low. It's a ball and a strike. Some big outs here to get for McKay. He did himself in. The 1-1 inside for ball 2. So just as we thought the Rays were going to be able to breeze to some sort of victory, Morton ends up getting chased out. He gives up 3 runs. And now it's Brendan McKay, who has now given up 2. Down fouled away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anything outside of a strikeout or a double play is probably going to score a run. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And it's inside for ball 3. The payoff pitch. And a weak grounder picked up by Adames. He goes for 2 for 1 to throw to first in time to retire this side. Domingo Santana grounds into a double play with the bases juiced and 1 out. They get the go-ahead run in scoring position. The Rays lead 6-5. After an eventful top of the 5th, we now head to the bottom. The Rays lead is cut to just 1 now. It'll be Hunter Renfroe. He's 1 for 1 with a 3-run homer in the 1st. He also walked in the 3rd. It'll be Renfroe, Lau, and Adames all to face Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez got through a scoreless inning in the 4th. The 0-1 pitch. That one's taken outside. A ball and a strike. We're already at the hour mark on the broadcast. We only went 1 hour and 15 minutes yesterday, so this one will far surpass that one. As the scorebook is going to be loaded up with all kinds of sorts of stuff by the time we're through with today's contest. The longest game I can think of, I think it was a 11 or 12 inning game in Boston in a getaway. Diego Castillo took the loss. There's a walk-off single for the Red Sox in that one. They lost that one 3-2. The only time the Rays have faced Boston this season, they'll see him in May next month. Here's the 3-1. It's Renfroe outside for ball 4, and a leadoff walk will get things started for the Rays as they look to respond. That's Renfroe's 2nd walk. He's reached base all 3 times. He's come to the plate, and now it's Brandon Lau, who's 0 for 1 and a walk himself. The 1-0 pitch, and that one popped up. Chased by the right fielder, Reyes. He's going to make a running play, and that one is out of there. Didn't expect that one. The 4th home run of the evening for the Rays, the 7th of the season for Lau, a 2-run homer. That one just looked like a trailing fly ball. And the wind inside of Tropicana Field pushed that one out. It is now 8-5 Rays. Scores Renfroe from first. And that pushes the Rays lead back out, as we said. Can't say I've ever seen a game quite like this one. So back and forth. And now's the shortstop Adames with no outs and the base is empty. Adames is 0 for 2. It's a couple of ground outs. That one outside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. A pitch low, and it's 3-0. Lopez pitched 3 innings last night, so maybe losing his strike zone a little bit. Hard to tell. He's given up a home run, and now the 3-0. Taken for Adames, it's 3-1. Down outside, and now the 2nd walk of the inning. We'll put him in on. Here still with no outs. For Jose Martinez, the DH. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out to short in his last time up. That first pitch to Martinez taken for strike 1. Now this one from Lopez outside. The count is now a ball and a strike. It's Adames standing at first, no outs. Rays now with a 3-run lead. As that one is put on the ground, and it'll likely be 2. And it is. That'll erase the walk. And now with 2 outs and the base is empty, it is the catcher, Michael Perez. Perez is 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Fouls that first one away. So the Indians in the 6th inning, it'll be Oscar Mercado, Roberto Perez, and back to the top for Louie Garcia. Will it be Brendan McKay or will it be someone else? It seems a bit premature the way this game is going to count outs. They have 12 left to get. The 1-1 here to Perez inside as he takes a scoop back. And now the 2-1. Laid off of, but in there for strike 2. Lopez is now a strike away from getting out of this inning. Gives up a couple of runs, though. The 2-2. Outside. Full count here to the catcher. Yandy Diaz warming up on deck. And now the payoff pitch is grounded right to the shortstop Lindor, and his routine throw to first will be low off the ground, but in time for out number 3. So the Rays extend their lead back out. A 2-run shot there by Brandon Lau, the 4th of the evening. At the end of 5, it is 8-5 Rays. It'll be Oscar Mercado to get things started here in the 6th. Mercado is 1 for 2. A 2 RBI single in the 4th, as that one is going to get out of there in a hurry. A leadoff home run in the 6th for Oscar Mercado, as that one kind of caught everyone by surprise. They bring Brendan McKay back out, and that decision does not look to be a good one. The 4th of the year for Mercado. He had an inside-the-park homer against the Rays earlier this month, and he'll come across to score. The Rays' lead is now just 2. And these Indians will just not go away. And finally, a pitching move. It's Diego Castillo. He was out yesterday in 16 appearances, a 2.93 ERA. McKay will finish with 1+ and 3 earned runs on 4 hits. Certainly not his best day. Gave up just as many runs as Morton in just a quarter of the time. Thankfully, the Rays have yet to give up a lead, as this one is really back and forth. Here's the first pitch to the catcher, Perez. Low ball 1. Perez is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Now the 1-1. And that one is grounded right to Adames. And his throw to first is well in time for out number 1. And we now go back to the top of the lineup. It's the DH, Louie Garcia. He is 1 for 3, a couple of strikeouts, and a single in the 5th. He ended up coming around to score in that busy inning off of Brendan McKay. It's interesting to see how the Rays would try and line up pitchers. McKay was supposed to be the bulk man. He only ends up getting through 1+. Records just 3 outs. So Castillo is out, who pitched yesterday. The other guys who pitched yesterday, Peter Fairbanks, Poche, and Drake. Wouldn't expect to see any of them, but you might have to. And that was one thing I was talking about when they took Ryan Yarbrough after only 5 innings of 1-run ball. I think it was only 80 pitches or so. As you end up taxing the bullpen for the rest of the series. Louie Garcia there strikes out for the 3rd time today. And now there's 2 outs in the inning. And the base is empty for Cesar Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. The righty run, the lefty Alvarado are warming. Those are guys that we knew we were going to see. The A bullpen guys that are rested. But you're going to have to get more than 1 inning for one of those guys. It's probably not going to be Castillo. If you can get him out of this inning in 10 pitches, that would be really ideal. And then maybe trying to get Rowe through 1, and then maybe Alvarado for 2. Who knows? Or if you want to use the closer Anderson, you can just go 1, 2, 3. That would probably be ideal for Kevin Cash. And now the 2-1. Outside ball 3. That fastball in there at 101. And a broken bat chopper goes right to Castillo, and the throw to first is good. So Castillo comes on to get 3 outs, and he does. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, it is 8-6 Rays. It'll be the third baseman, Yandy Diaz, to get the 6th inning started. Ronaldo Lopez is back out for a 3rd inning. It'll be Diaz, Meadows, and Choi. The Rays with a 2-run lead. The way this game has gone, they're going to need a couple more. And that one put in the air, chased by the right fielder Reyes, and he is there for out number 1. Diaz is now 0 for 3 on the day after that fly out to right. And now we go back to the top for Austin Meadows. Meadows is 2 for 3 with a single and a home run. That first pitch is in there for strike 1. And that one popped up, but it's the left fielder Santana under it. And now quickly out number 2 of this inning. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, it'll be Ji-Man Choi, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the 4th inning. That first pitch inside for ball 1. Lopez has pitched a lot of innings. If he gets through this one, it'll be 6 total in the last 2 days. Never an easy thing to do. But it's not without his falters either. He's given up a few runs. The 1-1 pitch in there for strike 2. It'll be Francisco Lindor, Frenmil Reyes, and Jose Ramirez up to the plate in the 7th. The Rays with 9 outs left to get. Will it be Chaz Rowe or Jose Alvarado? It's a lot of switch hitters, so who knows? Won't really matter. If you want to go based on how high leverage they would match him up, it would probably be Rowe in the 7th and Alvarado in the 8th, and then bring out Nick Anderson in the 9th. Anderson picked up his 8th save a couple of days ago in the finale against the Royals. He's 8 for 9 on the year in that category. That one is low and gets all the way back to the backstop away from the catcher Perez, and it's 2-2. Count to Choi, and here's the pitch. And a called strike 3. So Perez gets out of this inning 1-2-3. The Rays are going to have to take their 2-run lead to the top of the 7th. And they'll have Diego Castillo back on, at least for a batter or 2. We'll see. It'll be the switch hitter Francisco Lindor up first. And they are actually going to make a change. It'll be Peter Fairbanks. In 14 appearances, a 4.05 ERA. Not the guy we were expecting, but here he is. Maybe trying to save one of the high leverage guys for tomorrow. Who knows? It'll be Snell on the mound versus Carlos Carrasco in the finale. Francisco Lindor today is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, including an RBI single in the 5th. That one in there for strike 1. So Fairbanks pitched a scoreless inning in yesterday's game. No hits, strikeouts, or walks allowed. As this is a pretty big spot for the youngster, pitching with a 2-run lead in the 7th. Kevin Cash gives him the nod, and here he is. The 2-1 pitch, fouled away. 2-2 now. The 2-2. And that one is put into play right into the shift. Boy, have we gotten used to see that, but the throw from Lau is no good. Choi comes off the bag, and Lindor reaches base via an E4. We've seen that from Lau a couple of times. That's his 3rd error of the season. And anytime you give a team extra outs, it always seems to come back to bite you. And in a close game like this, you never know really how it's going to break. As now Friendmill Reyes at the plate. He's 0 for 3, struck out his last time up in the 5th. And that would have been a big out for Fairbanks, too. He got the weak grounder. But Lau just not able to make a good throw to first. Not an incredibly far throw, as they were on the same side of the infield, but who knows? The 2-0 here to Reyes. And that one is put in the air. Chased by the left fielder, Renfroe. And we have got ourselves a tie ball game. We just mentioned it. Anytime you give a team extra outs and you put a man on base, the cleanup man, Reyes, makes you pay for it. And that puts into question maybe the decision to have out Fairbanks, as now this game has been completely reset. 8-8 in the top of the 7th. An absolute moonshot for Reyes. Hits it all the way into the top of the dome and into the left field seats. If Fairbanks still has not faced the minimum, no outs here. Really unfortunate. If Lau had been able to make the out, it would still be a Rays lead, but here we are. It's Jose Ramirez now. He's 1 for 2 with a double. It was an RBI, and he came around to score as well. And that one is popped straight up, chased by the catcher, Perez, and he can't get there in time. Now, the count will be a ball and a strike to Jose Ramirez, and here's the pitch. And that one put into play. It looks like it will get down for a base hit, and it will. The Rays were shifted inside, and it is now a double, as the Indians got the go-ahead run in scoring position. His 6th of the year. Fairbanks has faced the minimum. Now you got to think about really making a move. Now it's a tie game. Who knows what Cash is going to do? But a couple of hits. And they will make a move. It'll be Chaz Rowe. In 11 appearances, a 7.27 ERA. Chaz Rowe, the fifth pitcher on, and arguably really should have been the man to start this inning. I don't understand the reasoning behind Fairbanks, but we'll see what Kevin Cash has to say after the game. Rowe comes on with no outs, and the go-ahead run is standing at second base, and the slugger Carlos Santana up. Some big outs here to get. Rowe's probably going to need a couple of strikeouts if he gets out of it scoreless. But that's a long way down the line. Santana was intentionally walked his last time up. The Rays, that ended up paying off as they got a double play ball and got out of that thing. Now it doesn't really seem to matter. And that will take Mike Clevenger out of the decision. He was in line for the loss. But now that it's tied up, obviously that is taken out of play. And now it'll be some reliever decisions. Down fouled away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Put in the air. It's the center fielder, Kiermaier, under it. And he's there for out number 1. The runner stays at second. It's the left fielder Domingo Santana up now. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, including an RBI in the second, a single in the fourth as well. Grounded into a double play in the fifth. That ended that bases loaded situation. That pitch in there for strike one as Rowe is really making some big boy pitches here in the seventh in a tie ball game. Certainly not the situation they wanted him in. They'd prefer to have him with the lead. But the Rays have been hot as well. You got to like their chances. It'll be Kevin Kiermaier, Renfroe, and Lau when we get to the bottom of the seventh. So some big hitters there. Ronaldo Lopez is probably going to be coming out now that we're in a tie game. And now the 0-2 pitch is fouled away. A strikeout in this situation would be so crucial because it could allow you to have a ground ball for out number 3. And really, you could have a couple ground outs, really. But you really want to keep that runner from getting to third if you can. And here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and a fastball high and inside. Santana not happy at that one, but he goes down swinging. Rose for a strikeout at this appearance. And now he got that second out. It's Oscar Mercado now. Mercado homered in his last at-bat in the sixth. He also had a 2 RBI single in the fourth, so 3 total in the day for him. As he's been a bit of a Rays slayer himself. Think of that inside the park homer in Cleveland a couple weeks ago. He's got a runner standing at second with 2 outs. The 0-1 from Rowe. And that one got away from Perez. It goes all the way to the backstop, and it will allow that runner to advance to third. As we were talking about, a wild pitch there for Rowe. And now Jose Ramirez is now 90 feet away. It's going to need a base hit to bring him in either way. Here's the 1-1 to Mercado. Low ball 2. I'm not sure they would do it with 2 outs, but Mercado is a speedy guy. You wonder, with a runner at third base, if they'd run a bump play. You never know, with Terry Francona especially. Here's the 2-1. That one fouled back to the catcher, and that takes that out of play. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rowe 1 strike away from getting out of it. Would love to see him go to the wipeout slider here. Here's the 2-2. Low ball 3. Now a full count to Mercado. It would be the catcher Perez next. So not the end of the world if Mercado gets away from you. Just don't give up a hit. And here's the payoff. And he got the swing and miss on the wipeout slider. Perez tags the runner coming for home. That will end the inning. So Peter Fairbanks gives up the lead. 7th inning stretch time. We're tied 8 runs apiece. Pitching move for the Indians as Dominic Leone in 15 appearances, a 4.58 ERA. Lopez will finish with a couple of innings pitched. And that's now Kevin Kiermaier to the plate first. As that one is put on the ground, charged by the second baseman Hernandez, and his throw to first is in time to put away Kiermaier quickly there. It was Cesar Hernandez on the putout, and now Hunter Renfroe to the plate. Renfroe is 1 for 1, a 3-run homer in the first, and has walked his last 2 times up. Comes to the plate with 1 out, no men on. Bottom of the 7th, it's a tie game. It's been a wild one here. It's hard to even keep track of where all these runs came from. I know the Rays had sizable leads at multiple points. Couldn't tell you the score, as it's been really all a blur. Maybe teaching us a lesson about counting outs a bit too prematurely. We knew there was a chance that the Indians could storm back in. The Rays pitching has not been at their best. Rowe with some big pitching, though, to get 3 outs with an inherited runner at second. As if the Rays do end up coming out with this one with a win, he's going to be one of the heroes, no doubt. Although you wouldn't really know it from the box score. That one inside the Renfroe, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Renfroe here, and it'll be Brandon Lau next. As we head into the late stages of a tie ball game. No matter that it's 8-8. I mean, it's a tie game. You got to get runs where you can. Forget about everything that happened before. As that one is fouled away by Renfroe, and it'll stay 2-2. The Rays have hit 4 home runs here today. That's now 7 total in the series. A full count here to Renfroe. And here's the payoff. And a cut and a miss on a pitch outside. A rare Renfroe chase. And that is out number 2. He's retired for the first time today, and now with 2 outs and the bases clear, it's Brandon Lau, who homered in his last at-bat. He is 1 for 2 and has also walked. That one taking a hair outside for ball 1. It was a 2-run homer in the 5th. In the top of the 8th for the Indians. As that one to Lau was taken for strike 1. It'll be Roberto Perez, Louie Garcia, and Cesar Hernandez. As they head back to the top. Interesting to see what pitcher it will be. Will it be Rowe? Maybe Alvarado? Maybe one of the guys that they used yesterday. Didn't work out so well in Fairbanks' case. As that one is popped straight up. It'll be the shortstop Lindor under it. A 1-2-3 inning here for the Rays. As we head to the 8th inning in a tie game. It is 8-8. And the Rays will go to Oliver Drake, a man that pitched yesterday. In 19 appearances, an 8.22 ERA. He's the 6th man out here. It'll be the catcher, Roberto Perez, to get things started. They'll finish out the lineup, and then they'll go back to the top. Louie Garcia and Cesar Hernandez. But you got to get the out of the catcher here. Drake pitched in the 9th. It wasn't a save situation as it was a 4-run lead, but he got all 3 outs cleanly. The attendance tonight just about the same as it was last night, just above 7,600 here on this Tuesday evening. Rays looking to extend their winning streak to 4 games and get just 1 game back of 500. And they're just 4.5 games back of first. A really chance to make a move here as that one is lined off the bat. The left fielder Renfroe goes back, and now that one is out of there. The Indians, for the first time today, take the lead. 2nd home run of the year for Roberto Perez. As that one has stunned the crowd here in Tropicana Field. Drake hung one over the center part of the plate, and even the 9-man can make you pay for that one. He pulls it to left field, and it'll give the Indians a lead. This has really been one wild ball game, and this would really make you sick in the stomach to see the home team lose this one. And it'll really come down to pitching. I mean, of course, you give up 9 runs, but really in the way that they've done it. Situational hitting and with the long ball, the Indians have been good. And now it's Louie Garcia with a chance to maybe pour on. He's 1 for 3 with a single and 3 strikeouts. And that one is put into play, picked up by Choi. And that will be out number 1. The ground out to first. And it's now Cesar Hernandez, who is 0 for 3. Walked in the 5th. Oliver Drake will now be in line for the loss. I mean, you put in a couple of both relievers that they've used today. Well, actually, Castillo pitched fine, but the other two, Fairbanks and Drake, that they put on that pitched yesterday, have really performed poorly, and that was something we talked about yesterday. Was you make a move to the pen early, you're putting a tax on this pen, it's going to hurt you later in the series. And this could really be the deciding factor in this game, too. As Hernandez lays off a pitch low in the dirt, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. High, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Drake gets ready. He sets and throws. And a called strike 3. That'll be out number 2. Cesar Hernandez's first strikeout of the day. First for Drake. And now with the bases clear and 2 outs, it'll be Francisco Lindor. He is 2 for 4. An RBI single in the 5th. The first pitch to Lindor's low, ball 1. So in the bottom of this inning, for the first time, the Rays will be hitting with a deficit. It'll be Willie Adames, Jose Martinez, and Michael Perez. As that's not quite the way you want things to line up, but we'll at least see the top. Once again, at the very least, we'll see Austin Meadows and Ji-Man Choi one more time. And then we get back into the maybe Kevin Kiermaier and Hunter Renfroe. The Rays are only down a run. They've already hit 4 home runs today, so a 5th could get this one tied up. Here's the 1-1 to Lindor. It's well outside. 4-2. And the 2-1 pitch. And that one is popped up. There's no one over there, and that one is going to get down for a base hit. Those shifts are really live or die. That would be a routine fly out, but with the outfield shifted inside so much, just a weak fly ball gets down for a double. And you hate to see stuff like that, and it'll keep the inning going. For the Indians, is that they now get another runner in scoring position for the cleanup hitter who came through the last time up. It was a 2-run homer in the 7th. They got this bad boy tied up. And then it was a solo home run in this inning by Roberto Perez to give the Indians the lead. That one is high. 4-2. He's 184 in the year with runners in scoring position. Lindor standing at second. 2 outs. Here's the 2-0. Low, ball 3. With Jose Ramirez up next, I'm not sure you want to walk Reyes, but this may not be intentional by Drake. We'll see. The Rays have already intentionally walked 1 man. It was Carlos Santana in the 5th. And here's the 3-0. That one in there taken for strike 1. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed strike 2. The count is now full. The crowd just trying to cheer Drake to 1 more strike. He can get out of this inning without giving up another run. Here's the payoff pitch. And that one is popped up. Run down by the right fielder Meadows in foul territory, and he'll make a running catch to get out of the inning. Oliver Drake relinquishes the tie. It's a solo home run by Roberto Perez to take the lead. The Rays with 6 outs left now to pick up that run. Another pitching move for Cleveland is Nick Whitgreen. In 11 appearances, a 3.65 ERA. Dominic Leone will finish with a scoreless inning pitched. And it's Willie Adames to get this inning started. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. That came in the 5th. That first pitch to him is high. And inside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. And that one is put on the ground, foul. The 1-1 to Adames. Fouled away, and it's now 1-2. The first time the Rays are seeing Whitgren this year, but the couple of other relievers, Simber, I remember, gave the Rays some trouble, and Brad Hand, I think, struggled a little bit. Adames goes down on strikes, and now they have 5 outs left to work with. It's now Jose Martinez up. Martinez is 0 for 3. Last grounded out to a double play in the 5th. The first pitch to Martinez, high, ball 1. This bottom part of the order really has not done much. From the 6 through 9 holes, the only time they've reached base, you got a couple of walks and a hit by pitch. No hits. It's really been the top of the lineup that's done all the lifting, and the way this game may break, we may not even see them again, unfortunately. We'll see at least Meadows, as that one is put in the air. Runs down by the left fielder Santana, and he's there for out number 2. And now the base is empty and 2 outs. It is the catcher, Michael Perez. Perez is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch in the 4th. That first to Perez is in there for strike 1. That one inside, and it's a ball and a strike. So the Indians will bat at least one more time. It'll be Jose Ramirez, Carlos Santana, and Domingo Santana who will be pitching to them. Who knows, as that one is a slow grounder right to the second baseman, Hernandez, and he struggles with it. There's going to be no play at first. And E4 will allow Perez to reach base, and that is actually, even if the Rays don't score in this inning, that becomes pretty big. Because it will allow now Kevin Kiermaier will now definitely bat. And Kiermaier has a double and a homer today, so that's definitely a guy that you want to see at the plate. It's now Yandy Diaz. Diaz is 0 for 3, reach base in the 4th on an error. A couple of those for Cleveland today. That first pitch taken by Diaz for strike 1, but of course, you know, you'd be happy Diaz can pop up a deep fly. He's looking for his first home run and give the Rays the lead with Perez standing at first. Nick Whitgren pitching, and the 0-1 is grounded right to the third baseman, who gets the force at second for out number 3. That will end the inning as we head to the top of the 9th. The Rays down to their final 3 outs. Collin Poche is the pitcher to try and finish things off here for the Rays. In 17 appearances, a 2.45 ERA. He is the 7th pitcher on today. We saw him yesterday pitched a scoreless inning when she struck out a couple of men. So his bullpen is becoming more and more taxed. It'll be Blake Snell tomorrow, so they're probably going to need some big innings out of him. Will it be the series decider or not? It will yet to be determined. The men that Poche will face here in the 9th. It's Jose Ramirez here, Carlos Santana next, and Domingo Santana after that. The 1-0 pitch, and there's strike 1. And that one inside, and it's 2 balls a strike. So the Rays to come to the, when we get to the bottom of the 9th, it'll be the top of the order. Austin Meadows, Shea, Shea, and Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier and Meadows, by the way, have both homered today. So you got to like your chances. It ended up lining up well. But Collin Poche's got to do his job and just get these 3 outs cleanly. 2 switch hitters and a righty. So, in reality, pretty much just 3 righties. As a cut and a miss there for strikeout number 1 for Shea. Ramirez goes down, and now it's Carlos Santana to the plate. Carlos Santana is 1 for 3. A double in the second. He was also intentionally walked in the 5th. The first pitch to him. Inside for ball 1. A pitch a bit outside, and it's 2-0. Alvarado warming up in the pen. Hopefully the Rays won't have to use him, and then the bright side of this game, no matter which way it breaks, is if you can give Alvarado and Nick Anderson maybe another day off and keep them as fresh as possible. As that one is lifted in the air, chased by the center fielder Kiermaier, and that one is off the wall. It'll be a 1-out double for Carlos Santana. Thankfully, no one was on base, as the Rays are trying to keep this one to just a 1-run game, but Shea's going to have some big pitching left to do. Maybe after the next batter, you end up going to Alvarado, but Shea's going to have to face the minimum first. And it'll be Domingo Santana up here with a man on second and 1 out. The first pitch to him is lifted in the air, run down by the left fielder Renfroe, and he's there for out number 2. So fly out to left, brings up Oscar Mercado. Mercado is 2 for 4, a 2 RBI single in the 4th, and a solo home run in the 6th. Probably the hero tonight for the Indians if you had to pick one. But with 9 runs, there's a lot of guys that have been busy at the plate. Not the finest day for this Rays pitching staff. 4 runs. Morton got it started. He'll finish with a no decision, as will the Indian starter Mike Clevenger. It's the battle of the bullpens here. Really, it was after the 4th inning. Here's the 1-1. High ball 2. Nine relievers in totality between both teams used. And after the Indians bring in probably their closer, it'll be 10. Will it be Simber or Brad Hand? Both have had some success against the Rays. But one more out left to get for Shea. He's got a full count here to Mercado. Carlos Santana standing at second with 2 outs. The Indians lead by 1. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Collin gives up a double, but ends up getting out of it with no runs. The Rays down a run. They have 3 outs left when we come back. It'll be Brad Hand, the closer for the Indians. In 11 appearances, he is 11 for 11 in save opportunities, an 0.87 ERA. At this point, probably off of those stats, the last pitcher in the American League that you'd want to face. But here he is. The lefty will come on to face 3 lefties for the Rays. So that one matched up well as Meadows pops that one up, and it's run down in left center by Domingo Santana for out number 1. It's the first baseman, Ji-Man Choi, up here. Choi 1 for 4, an RBI single in the 4th. And after that, it'll be Kiermaier. That one in there for strike 1. It's been a back and forth game. It's too much really to all recap. But the Rays hit 4 home runs and took control, and then the bullpen kind of just busted this game back open. It'll be Peter Fairbanks in line for the loss. You got a guy on the mound that's 11 for 11 in saves. That's not what you want, but probably the one batter you want to see in this situation is Ji-Man Choi. Not only has he been clutch, but his batter's eye is absolutely incredible. He'll take pitches. Austin Meadows did not do that. He swung at the first pitch that he saw and ended up flying out. So now the Rays with 2 outs left to work with. The Rays won the first game of this series and clinched the season series. They're just 2 games under 500, so you know they would love to get back to that mark here at home. The loss here would not allow that. At least in this homestand, as they're going to go back on the road after the series is over with. The 1-2 to Choi. And swung on and missed for strike 3. The Rays are now down to their final out in Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier is 2 for 4, a couple of base hits, a home run in the third, and a double in the first. Canada's got the first 2 outs easily, just 5 pitches. Thankfully, the Rays won't have to see him much. Maybe just tomorrow, but that'll be it. He's absolutely slicing up the Rays right now. If Kiermaier can reach base, it'll be Renfroe. So that would help as well. The Rays just down a run. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled away, and now the Rays and Kevin Kiermaier are down to their final strike. Rays have held the lead for the most part. The Indians just took this game over late. The 0-2 to Kiermaier. Swung on and missed. Brad Hand is now 12 for 12 in save opportunities. In a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss for the Rays as they lose by a score of 9-8 in 9. They'll drop to 14-17. The Indians advance to 15-17. Peter Fairbanks gets the loss for the Rays. The series is now tied. We have a rubber match tomorrow. We'll see you then.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious Cleveland Indians, 9 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They left 9 men on base. For the Rays, 8 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. They left 4 men on base. Time of the ball game, 4 hours and 1 minute.